I'm King Edward, and yesterday was a big day in gaming news. Sony finally released the price point for the PlayStation 5. And with that, nerds everywhere are able to finally compare the next generation of consoles' main contenders and see which is going to be the real value buck for buck with what you get. But I'm not going to talk about any of that. I'm going to talk to you about how I'm just not excited. I think everything's kind of lackluster. And the reason that I feel that way is because of HD gaming. You see, HD gaming, with graphics being as advanced as they are now, really poses a problem for someone like me. And I realize that I am a very small amount of the populace around the world that has to deal with this issue, but HD gaming gives me motion sickness. Some HD movies give me motion sickness. If it's a 4K movie, I have a hard time even watching it. Now we're talking about 8K gaming, possibly, on this next generation of consoles. I'm never going to be able to play anything. See, it all started back with the 7th generation of consoles, with the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3. And when those hit the scene, right at the beginning, everything was great, because the only one that you really hooked up with the HD to begin with, I think, was the PlayStation 3. But the Xbox 360 still had its tried and true classic composite cable. And I was able to play a ton of games because I didn't have an HD TV, so I had to hook it up with the old red, yellow, blue, red, yellow, whites, or green, blue, red, composite or component cables. And I had a lot of fun with it. I mean, I got to play a lot of things on it to begin with that were great. I mean, I experienced quite a few first-person shooters on the 360 that really I had fun with. But then the moment that it transitioned to HD, those same games that I had some fun with, I couldn't quite play as long. Stuff really started to affect me with first-person shooters especially. It would just make me feel very fatigued, very drained of energy. I would have a headache, and on some instances I actually threw up. And the only thing I could figure was, well, it's got to be the transition to HD. And I got confirmed with that when the next generation of consoles came out after that, our current generation, before we move into this new one with the PS4 and the Xbox Series X. I've got two PS4s, and both of them are hooked up with HD, 1080p, and there are so few games that I'm actually able to sit down and just play and enjoy without having to stop after an hour, 2 hours, because I feel very fatigued, very run down. My energy's just gone. Sometimes I'll have a headache again, and sometimes I get sick. It's the particle effects, it's motion blurs, it's explosions, it's the herky-jerkiness of the camera movement in some games. First-person shooters are completely out on the current generation. Before this one that's out now, we're not even talking about the PS5 and all that yet. So first-person shooters are out completely. A lot of fighting games are out just simply because of the motion blur. Some third-person games, which I never had a problem with third-person games. I never had a problem with fighting games. Some RPGs, and I love RPGs, but the transition effects will literally make me feel nauseous. And it really limits the amount of time that I'm able to play a game. So it takes a lot of the fun away for me. It's not like when I was playing on the PlayStation 2 or playing on the original PlayStation or the Sega Saturn even. It's nothing like those where I could literally sit and sink 12 to 15 hours in a day if I wanted to into an RPG. Now I'm lucky if I get 2.5 hours worth of playtime. And it's not because of time. I don't have any kids. My wife and I, the Queen, we don't have any children. So our time's not eaten up by kids. I mean, work comes into effect, but that neither here nor there. I could play those games for that amount of time if I wanted to. And I really want to. But the motion sickness makes it to where I'm unable to. And it's ruined a lot of modern gaming for me. Now, I've, you know, done like everybody else and just kind of coped with whatever I've had to in order to continue to game. I take breaks. I have periods where I'll not touch the PS4 for days, even just because of how sick I felt from playing a game. On the just for an example, on the Xbox 360, I played Skyrim for hundreds of hours. On the PS4, I can barely sit there and play for 3 hours at a time. And it's all because of the upscaling for the graphics. This next generation, 8K graphics, I'm not going to be able to play anything. I've gone from some games that I could play, or some games that I couldn't play, and a majority of the library that I could explore, to about 50-50 with the current generation of game consoles. Like half of them I have a hard time playing, and half of them I can manage to play, and it all depends on the game. But this next generation, just by the law of progression, I'm going to be out 3/4 of the library automatically because of the advancement of HD graphics. So I can't get excited. I mean, don't get me wrong, a lot of the games look amazing. But I can't even watch some of the game trailers because they make me sick. I mean, yeah, it's going to be cool. The consoles look different. We got a refrigerator and a sort of, kind of Star Trek-ish type spaceship. Eh. Not too big on the white PS5, but that's neither here nor there. They'll come out with other colors. You know they will. They always do. I mean, but if I could, which one would I get? I'd get a PS5. Probably also get the Xbox Series X just so I got all the backwards compatibility with it. But the PlayStation 5 looks like a better console to me. Just overall, the way it stacks up, it seems like it's going to be better. It might have some more. I think it's probably going to get better games a lot quicker than the Xbox Series X will. But I can't really get excited about it, like I said. I'm not going to be able to play a majority of it. So what's the point in me looking forward to it? I mean, I can't be the only person out there that has this same problem when it comes to HD graphics. There's got to be other people, right? And if you've got that problem, if you are like me and have had problems with modern gaming because of HD graphics, maybe making you motion sick, anything, it could affect you epileptically a lot worse. Whatever, If you've had any problems with HD graphics, I mean, leave a comment down below. I'd like to know there's more people out there that deal with this than just me. I mean, I could still play games. I'm not shut out of it completely. I've got a whole, 4, 5 generations before the Xbox 360 that I can explore, and trust me, I do. But I'd really like to play some of these modern games too. It kind of sucks that I'm not able to do it just simply because of the motion blur. If you like this video, leave a like. If you choose to continue the conversation, you're welcome to in the comments section down below. As always, I'm King Edward. Have a good day. I hope you enjoy your games.